2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Shenton Park or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
G'day there, podcaster. We open up the Forbidden Folder. That's the first thing you're going to hear. We talk bribes. I also try and bribe a lady who works at a fish and chip shop. I heard this awesome ad for Godfathers as well, being obviously a godfather of 3. I'm run off my feet. And look, it was nice to just have some acknowledgement. So you'll hear all about that as well. And we also heard about F-wits at functions. And there was this guy who pranked his wife, brand new wife, while they're walking down the aisle. Sounds like the worst guy ever. Enjoy.
Previously on Ben, Liam and Bell.
Justin, what bit you?
Chimpanzee. Did some time at a zoo, and there was a chimpanzee that was kicked out from the troop, so I kind of hung out with the zookeepers all day. One of my jobs was to give it a coffee in the morning.
What?
Yeah, a half-strength instant coffee.
And now, live across Australia, this is Ben, Liam and Bell.
And the zookeeper I was with turned to me, and it was a bit of a language barrier, but she said I needed to thank the monkey, and I don't think that went over very well.
I mean, this is the best call we've had in 2025. It just keeps getting better.
Good evening, Australia. We love Mondays because it's when we do the Forbidden Folder.
Yeah, it's where we keep all the ideas the boss has said no to in the past under lock and key. And we want to ask this evening on 13-24-10, have you taken and or received a bribe? Have you greased someone's palms? Maybe you got a little kickback. I don't know. Who knows?
They definitely happen.
They happen all the time.
I mean, I witnessed one almost over the Christmas break, actually. I went to a music festival over New Year's, and you know how you're not supposed to bring any alcohol in. You know, you should only purchase it there. Never BYO. Driving in with the cars, my friend actually had heaps and heaps of alcohol in their car, and afterwards I said, "Oh, how'd you get that through?" And they said, "Oh, as soon as they start searching your car, you just say, 'Hey mate, do you want 50?' Slip them a 50 and they just let you go straight through."
Whoa.
Man, and he said it like it was like everyone's doing it. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's not like, you're sneaking across the border. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just bringing some beers into a music festival.
Yeah.
I also, just side note, that is going to be the best job in Australia, just hanging around for like 2 days before New Year's and being like, that's contraband, and then just walking away with like 48 litres of vodka and, mixes and everything in between.
13-24-10 is our number. Have you taken or received a bribe? It's the Forbidden Folder. If you want to remain anonymous, you can.
You're listening to Young Kings, Ben and Liam. Oh, yeah, Bell's there too.
Hey, Ben. What do you say we can't sneak some Benson Boone on next?
Ooh, how much?
Talk to that.
$10?
How about that?
Yeah, you got to do it, mate. 20, I'll take it.
Yeah, 20. All right, might get some Benson Boone next. We're just talking bribes here this evening. Michael in Sydney. Did you bribe someone?
Yeah, I did, guys. How you going?
Good.
So back in 2000, the Olympics were here in Sydney, and it was chock-a-block. You could not get into any bar or club, especially hanging out with another 5 Greek boys. There's no chance tonight, boys. So just pull all the money together, $10 each, and then just.
Yeah,
go up to the doorman and say, "G'day, mate, how you going?" Just me and my friends coming in, and he'd be like, "Yeah, good on you, boys. Have a good night." It'll work like a charm every time.
Sneak that one into the top pocket. That's 25 years ago, though, so with inflation, it's more like 50 a head now to get into a club in Sydney with your mates. Tom in Melbourne, your boss bribed you.
Yes. I used to work hospitality as my first job ever. And, noticed a few things in terms of money going missing at the end of the shifts with the tills. Didn't really know what to do, and my boss at the time used to give me a bottle of whiskey at the end of the shifts after we closed the tills together.
Yeah, right. And can you mention the franchise? Was it like a pretzel shop? Was it?
No, it was like an independent restaurant. And, I worked there for 2 summers, and by the third one, it was no longer around because there was a big investigation into the box.
Yeah.
Whoa, but you're sitting there with your 10 bottles of whiskey having a great time. All right, Tom.
A lot of dudes with bribing stories. George, what about you? You offered a bribe?
Happy Monday, guys. Yeah, I work in real estate, and I've been offered 2 bribes throughout my career.
What were the bribes for?
So the first one was a bloke rocked up to a rental open and offered me $1,000 if I could get his rental application accepted.
Yeah, which, when you think about it, like with how tough it is to get into a good one, like that's almost better than like giving an extra, couple of bucks each week. If you just go 1,000 and you just sort it and you make sure that one goes through.
George, what do you say to that?
I just had to decline it in the end. Obviously, I don't want to risk getting caught.
I do love that $1,000 watch you've got on though at the moment, George. It looks very good on you. What was the other one?
The better one was I was doing sales, and I had a lady come up to me at an open inspection trying to hand me an envelope, and she said, "This is for you to get my offer accepted." Turns out I didn't accept it, but it was $5,000 in cash that she was trying to hand me at the open inspection.
I mean, that's hard to say. I know, like, it's your job and livelihood, and if you get caught, it's really bad. But, I mean, that would be hard to, like, $5,000 in cash in an envelope.
Did you know at the time it was $5,000?
Not when she tried to first hand it to me, but after a couple of attempts, she told me what it was. And whilst it was a pretty thick envelope, I had to refuse.
Oh, good on you, George.
It's like a nice nana giving you like $5 on the way out. You know what I mean? Just trying to slide it in your top. Buy yourself something nice. You know?
This is why we love the Forbidden Folder. We get calls like that. 13 24 10 is our number. Have you taken a bribe? Did you try and give a bribe? We'd love for you to give us a buzz.
No one's put their hands up so far and said, yeah, look, I'm dodgy. I've accepted a bribe and I'm proud of it.
The Ben, Liam and Bell podcast.
If you just joined us, you would have missed us talking about bribes, giving them, receiving them. It was the topic in the Forbidden Folder tonight. Now, we've had an idea. We were thinking, Liam, you should call, let's say, a fish and chip shop.
Yep.
And actually try and bribe them. Because none of us have done a bribe.
I want to do a bribe. After hearing all this bribe chat, I'm like, does bribing happen all around us more often than we think?
What do we have to bribe people with, though? Because we don't... we've got a bit of cash.
Radio station. We have endless resources. Tickets. We have cars to give away all the time. We have cash. We have, round-the-world trips with Nova's Red Room.
We were going to give away some Dua Lipa tickets next, so you could use those tickets.
To get a better dinner for us from the fish and chip shop.
Is that what we should be using them for?
I think so. Well, we're still, still technically giving them to someone that's not us.
Yes.
So I think that works.
All right, I have got a random fish and chip shop. Liam, let's see if you can bribe them.
Thank you. Tony Boy.
G'day. How you doing there, mate?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good. Just looking to order some fish and chips. What's your best seller? You got a bit of whiting there, or?
We don't have whiting. We have, flake.
Ooh. Let's go a bit of flake, I reckon.
Yes.
What about in the potato department? Chips? You do potato cakes, potato scallops, whatever you call them?
Chips, potato cakes.
Oh, amazing. Do you do dimmies?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'll go large flake, couple of dimmies, potato scallop, and just between you and me, I actually work at a radio station. Obviously, you work at a fish and chip shop. What do you say we put the chips down as small chips?
Yeah.
But you actually give me large chips, and in return, maybe you go see Dua Lipa. I don't know.
It kind of sounds like a scam call, I'm not going to lie.
I know, but this is just the industry I work in. I mean, you'd scratch my back, I scratch yours, chips for Dua Lipa, it's sort of...
What radio station is it?
It's Nova, Ben, Liam and Bell, Late Drive.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if there's if you accept bribes or if you don't, I don't know.
I'll talk to the chef.
You talk to the chef. If the chef's the man who takes the bribes, that's all right with me.
Okay, so a couple fried dim sims and a mystery load of chips.
Chips at your discretion.
Yeah. Could we get your name for that one?
Liam.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. We'll see you. Are you picking it up?
Yeah, I'll come pick them up. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect. In 10 minutes.
Yeah,
15 minutes.
10 minutes. And, there could be a couple of tickets slid across the counter and no one needs to know what size those chips were.
Yeah, cool. Okay, we'll see you then.
All right, see you then.
Bye.
I don't think that worked.
I don't know if she's taking it. I don't know if... I reckon I'm going to have to... I think she wants them. I think the chef is going to shut that shit down real quick. She's going to be like, please, Dua Lipa, they're front row. And he's saying, nah.
After BAFTA, it's the Ben Liam and Bell podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Morley or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Oi, stop gooning. The next bit's about to start.
13 24 10. Who did you book? Maybe it was a party, a function, a wedding. If we would know who they were, 13 24 10. Who did you book? Because Snoop Dogg
When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it
has
like
just done a recent interview, and he revealed in that interview that Prince Harry, or just Harry these days, asked him to perform at William's Bucks party.
That is wild. I mean, you can see how it didn't happen because can you imagine the royal, like even the royals having a Bucks party in the first place, but let alone Snoop
Even
Dogg being in the
Harry
corner?
saying the phrase Snoop Dogg just seems weird. Like, oh, he loves your shit, man. Like, you should totally play it. He'll go off. He really loved Missionary. Great album, man.
Wild. That would be so weird.
13 24 10. Now, we know this one's a bit more of a long shot, but yeah, if you attended a party, my brain thinks wedding, like weddings with big budgets, maybe they can book someone. And it doesn't have to be an A grade or B grade. I'd accept C or D.
I also think, like, yeah, we get it. Strippers go to things. Not that interesting.
No.
Magicians, on the other hand, that's something.
Yep.
If someone like asked for a magician at a Bucks show instead,
I thought we were only asking for like famous people.
well, not everyone's going to be able to have famous people. You know how they have. I always see on TikTok. There's this guy in the UK who does like a David Brent. He's like a David Brent impersonator, and he goes around to people's parties. I love that.
Impressions.
Is that what you're going to be doing?
If we don't get our contract renewed, I will be an Austin Powers impersonator at children's birthday parties, that's for sure.
13 24 10 is our number if you want to book Liam. Also, if you want to let us know who did you book, Jesse in Adelaide, who'd they book for the 21st?
Hey, Ben, Liam and Belle. So my friend's 21st went off because they booked Peking Duck.
Oh,
hang on. Was this like before High was released? Like, were they sort of just, making their way in Canberra? They weren't necessarily as big as they are now?
It was a couple of years ago now. So they basically had a friend who knew them and they rocked up with a USB and DJ deck to perform for 2 hours, and it was amazing.
Wow, I'd love to know what you paid the duck.
Or were Adam and Ruby just there for the vibes?
Probably just there for the vibes. They did actually get paid quite a fair bit because the friend is a bit well off.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that sounds a bit more like it. Yeah. Obviously, someone's parents are very rich and it was impossible to say no to.
Well, Jesse, you're in the running for that PS5. Thank you very much. If you want to get involved, 13 24 10 on Nova. Give us a buzz.
If you put on our podcast as you go to sleep, this one's for you.
We want to know, 13 24 10, who did you book? Maybe it was a work event, maybe it was a wedding, maybe you booked them, maybe you were just at the event. We'd love for you to call.
Because Prince Harry, before he wasn't mates with his brother, tried to get Snoop Dogg to play his Bucks.
Pimps in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Maria in Melbourne, who'd you book?
I booked the soccer legend, Archie Thompson.
Archie Thompson!
Yeah.
Oh, man, what a ledge. He is, I think, the highest capped international scorer for a single game when Australia absolutely dominated American Samoa a few years back. But, yeah, Melbourne victory, legend as well. Unfortunately, towed up Adelaide United in the 2006 A-League final.
Just going to jump in here. Clearly, Liam's the soccer fan, Maria.
Okay.
What did you book him for?
We booked him for, it was for raising funds for neonatal intensive care unit for Mercy Hospital. And yeah, so we had a fundraiser. My daughter was a prem baby,
Yep.
so I wanted to give back to Mercy Hospital. They were amazing, so we did a fundraiser. We ended up raising $12,000.
Oh, okay. So it's like a good, it's a beautiful thing. It's you made it sound like he was just coming to a barbecue or something.
Yeah.
You gave him a couple $100, but
That makes a lot more sense.
He was doing a good thing for the community. Marie in Sydney, who did the daycare book?
So, yeah, I rocked up at the daycare and the daycare had booked the Wiggles.
Hot potato, hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato.
Bad day to have Nits and miss daycare if the Wiggles were in.
What era was this, Marie?
Oh, this was 30-odd years ago.
Oh, so almost like
Just
prime
before
time.
they became famous. 6 months later, they were everywhere.
So you
right.
got him just on the cusp.
So you were kind of probably sitting in the back like, God, these guys are losers. Like, oh, yeah, this is going to catch on. What's he doing with his hands, huh? And then like, oh, okay, they're like Australia's Beatles.
Big red what?
Huh?
Dinosaur?
Why does that guy asleep over there? He doesn't even care about this thing. Rach, what about you? Who'd you book?
The one and only Jason Derulo.
Derulo? How'd you get him?
Yeah. So it's funny. I was actually out at a club with my friend in King's Cross, and he happened to be here touring and was in this little VIP section. So we got invited in, spent the rest of the night with him and his crew, then got invited back the next night to go out, have drinks with them. So did that. And then they were talking about how they wanted to have an after party after their Sydney concert the next night, but they didn't know where to have it.
Yeah.
So I actually knew the owners and the managers of a place called the Easton in Bondi Junction.
Yeah.
And so I said, oh, you should have it there. It's a really big R&B Wednesdays. And then pretty much just organised it all for him and went to the concert, then took the whole team and everyone back to this special VIP area at the Easton and had his after party there that night.
Wow. I didn't, when we were like, who'd you book? I didn't think we'd get Derulo and the Wiggles. I mean, that's good going.
But Rachel, were you like mates with him, like best mates with him by the end?
Yeah, like I actually see him a couple of times when he does come to Sydney. I get to go to his concerts and have drinks and stuff with him. So like he was here for I think 2 weeks and we spent like every night for a week.
Or maybe he's a nice guy. Because, Rach, we interviewed him one time and we had an intro that was like, he sold over 10 million records. And he was like, start that, 20 million.
That's right.
And we were like, oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, but he sat from Rach, your account, he sounds lovely. And it sounds like you've had a great time.
Yeah, Rach, it's a great one. Thank you very much.
Look over there. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a bellrog. Oh, no, it's just Ben Lehman Bell.
Oh, God, I'm so tired. Oh, man, I'm so run off my feet at the moment. Oh, jeez. Oh.
You good?
Sorry. I just needed to let it out. I mean, the radio thing, making all those TikToks and being a godfather, of course. People probably don't know this, but I'm the godfather to Ben's son, Freddie. And I've also recently been made the godfather to my new nephew, Jack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you. It's very nice. And also Ben and his lovely wife, Sam, also asked me a couple of months ago to be the godfather for their new baby coming September 25. In cinemas now.
But you don't really do...
Oh, you do a lot as a godparent. You give love, you give affection, protection, education, discipline, guidance, humility, changing nappies, the works.
What's Freddie's favourite thing?
Cheese.
He does like cheese.
I know, because I'm spending so much time with the kid and he's always asking for it.
What? No.
He calls me Uncle Cheesy because I have shredded cheese in my pocket and I sort of feed it to him when we're playing in the garden.
I'm going to get him to stop that real quick.
Okay, but it's hard being a godfather because it's such a thankless task. I mean, as I said, I'm painstakingly godfathering your son, Ben, soon to be your next child, plus, my nephew as well.
Yep.
And then you say, what do you even do? And, I finally felt a little bit of comfort today because I heard this ad on the radio and I thought, finally, some recognition.
If mothers get Mother's Day, fathers get Father's Day, and Jesus gets Christmas, then answer me this. What do godfathers get? The answer is nothing. Until now. Introducing Godfathers Day. A global day off for godfathers where regular people still work and go about their daily duties, all while sparing a thought for the world's godfathers. Godfathers Day. You get a day off for every godchild you have. Plus, it multiplies for years of service on each godchild. So, for argument's sake, if you had 3 godchildren and one of them was 2, you would multiply 3 by 2, giving you 6 full days off of work. And that's legal. Godfather's Day is going to be celebrated June 23rd, 2025. So write the date down and don't forget to buy the godfather in your life a cool present to show them how much you care. Also, if they godfather 2 of your children, you have to get them 2 presents. That's the way it works. Godfather's Day. Mark it in your diary, June 23rd.
God, I'm looking forward to it.
Isn't that Glastonbury, the date? Glastonbury? Which you're going to?
What is that? I've never heard of that.
Glasgow, the
festival. Oh yeah, the festival. Yeah. The big one with the tent in the UK. Yep. Oh, it is too. Yeah, it's so weird. Oh, and that's so lucky because it falls in my 6 days off for Godfather's Day, which is legal. So what you're suggesting is that I should go to the music festival Glastonbury in the middle of the year and leave you guys to do the show because I'm cashing in my annual Godfather's Day.
What, and get 2 presents?
Well, yeah, because
3
like
presents.
Godfather, well, yeah, if you include them as well, yeah, three presents, yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
We'll see, Uncle Cheesy, we'll see.
Okay, good.
I bet you can't keep a mewing streak for this whole podcast.
13 24 10. We would love to know who was the function F-wit. If somebody absolutely ruined your function, whether it was your wedding or your 21st, we'd love to hear from you. And to sweeten the deal, if you didn't know, we're actually giving away a PS5 this week to our favourite caller.
There normally is an F-wit at most functions. I mean, sometimes it's like not even that crazy. They just take their shirt off and they're, bit of a general nuisance, but other times it is a real night ruiner.
And we want to do this because if you haven't seen the footage doing the rounds, it's hilarious. Elon Musk is attending like a presidential dinner and he is there just, it's hard to explain. The video shows him playing around with some spoons and forks and balancing them on his hand, and like the presidents are there and prime ministers and he's just there balancing some spoons, being like, ooh.
Yeah, he looks like a child. What I think he's doing is he's got, say, 10 or so forks and he's jammed the fronds of the forks all together.
Yeah.
And then he's made almost like a sphere out of the forks.
Kind of looks like Edward Scissorhands, but softer.
Little bit. He's just playing with his cutlery. Sarah in Sydney, who was the F-wit at your 21st?
My dad, the biggest one that I've ever met, ever.
Oh, no. That doesn't sound too good. What happened?
At my 21st, my dad did a speech and he told everyone that I had explosive diarrhea when we went for a test drive in a car to buy my first car. And yes, I was so sick at the time, but I thought, I'd just make it through. But yeah, I didn't make it through.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, explosive diarrhea when you're a kid or whatever. And you're like, it's kind of cute. Dads do that. But, yeah, pooing in a car that you're test driving, it's like the worst possible. What happened? I mean, did you have to buy the car?
Look, I know I feel really bad, but I didn't actually end up buying the car.
Yeah,
but the people were really, really lovely about
I bet you got out of the test drive and it smells like shit in there.
Yeah, we're not buying that. Obviously, the mileage is pretty good, but there is a poo in the front seat. So, and that certainly was not in there when I got in.
To be fair, Sarah, it's a pretty good story.
I mean, for a dad, when they've got an audience, just say you've got 100 people there, it's your 21st big night, got the mic, it's his moment.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm leaving that gear on the chopping room floor. If that was my daughter, I think I'm telling that story.
Sarah, you're now in the draw for the PlayStation 5, just for getting on air. 13 24 10 is our number. Who was the F-wit at the function? Give us a buzz and you can also go on the draw to win the PS5.
Dude, you're a locked-in Sigma with plus 1,000 aura.
We're asking on 13 24 10, who was the function F-wit? If someone completely destroyed the function, whether it be a wedding, a birthday, whatever, we'd love to know, and you could win a PS5. Good evening, Edward in Melbourne. Your boss was the function F-wit. What happened?
Yeah, that's correct. It was the first Christmas party that I went to at this new job that I started. That I had a colleague who was leaving the sales team, transferring to a different area of the business. and there was an open bar. The boss had gotten a bit tipsy and was not happy that he was transferring, thought of him as a bit of a traitor, and tried to fight him.
Like physically fight? A full physical fight?
Things got a bit, like, there was some shoving. Luckily, it didn't go past that. But, yeah, he did try to fight my colleague, yeah.
Betrayal, is it?
Yeah. Death by fist you choose then. We'll settle this. What do you mean?
I am going to manage your chin.
He's just going to a different accounting firm and he's like, there will be blood spilt tonight. I will not take this.
Thanks for your call, Edward. Good evening, Laura. Who was the F word at your sister's wedding?
So it was my sister's husband. So he thought it would be a really funny prank to try to trip her over as they walked back down the aisle, and she actually face planted.
No, you know what? Don't even sign the paper at that point.
No, but when you do the walk, you've signed. Remember, because you do the vows. People chat amongst themselves while you sign, and then they say, "This is the big moment." Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
That's so stupid. That's a thing you do in year 8 or 9 at school when you kick your mate's leg and try and trip him over.
Could you imagine if they're going to sign the papers now, and as she's sitting down,
he pulls a chair out.
He's like, caught like a real year 6 drill.
Oh, well, I mean, it means he likes her, so.
Is that relationship still together?
Oh, God, no. They divorced 3 years later, and that lasted way too long, if you ask me.
I mean, what a loser. I mean, this is like the biggest moment you would assume, apart from maybe having kids, like in your relationship, you do something like that.
And that's it.
Like that podcast? There's heaps more to listen to if you just scroll back or download the Nova Player app.
Ben, Liam, and Bell.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Morley or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.